Hey guys, happy Blackout Wednesday. I'm coming to you live on this Wednesday. Um, just got out of work, fucking exhausted. Can't wait for Black Friday to be over with. So I will probably celebrate Blackout Wednesday in style. We'll see, I'm pretty tired. Anyway, hopefully you guys have a good Thanksgiving tomorrow, you and your families. Enjoy. If you do go out tonight, be safe. Alright, and that's my public service announcement. Back on to fantasy football. Um, Guys, it's week 12. I mean, we're looking at 2 weeks left in the season. It seems like yesterday we just drafted and we were at B-Dubs, and it just is gone by so fast. It's hard to even believe it. Looking at the week 11 matchups, I mean, we saw some big swings with some standings. Now the standings are real shook up, guys, and with 2 weeks left, every game matters. So let's jump into the week 11 matchups here real quick. I'm going to try and burn through these so I can be a little bit more elaborate with the week 12 preview, especially with the standings being so close once again. Going into my matchup here against Eric, both of us needed to win. We were both really fighting for a playoff spot here. I ended up pulling out the victory with a big Monday night performance. 76-68. It was real close all week, guys, and my team really didn't turn it on, and then Brady gave me 16 on Monday night to seal it. So I'm now 6-5, won 4 in a row. So I'm storming back, really trying to make the playoffs. And Eric dropped to 5-6. He's now third, standing alone in the AFC, and I'm second by myself in the NFC. Looking back real quick here with some numbers, Eric only got double digits out of 3 guys. He got Michael Bush had 16, Carson Palmer 16, DeMarco Murray 10. Greg Jennings put up a goose egg for him that was huge, and everybody else was single digits. I had double digits at 4 people. The 49ers defense actually led me again. The number 1 defense in fantasy gave me 17. Brady with 16. Roddy White with 14. Finally starting to play. McCoy had a solid 11. Alright, going on to the next matchup, guys. Like I said, I really don't want to get too elaborate with it. I don't want to cut 2 videos. So I'm just going to try and burn through this real quick if my computer would allow it and would hurry up. But yeah, like I said last week, there was a lot to watch, so I'm going to try and condense it. Alright, looking back here, Bolingbrook Blue Ballers edged out Megatron's Army 91-90. This was a huge matchup for John. He really needed the victory, especially for a division win. Pulling out the victory, dropping Brock to 10-1, his first loss of the year. And he still scored 90 points. John came up with a big win. He's now 6-5, stands alone in the AFC, excuse me, by 1 game. So still real tight in that division. John got really solid scoring from pretty much his whole lineup. He pulled Dwayne Bowe on for the Monday night game just in case he had 1 catch and a fumble. John would have tied, or actually lost. So smart fantasy move by him. Looking at Brock's team here, 29 from Matt Stafford. He lit up Carolina for 5 touchdowns. Calvin Johnson actually didn't catch one of them, which I was very surprised by. Looking at his team here, Chris Johnson had 2. Brandon Jacobs had 3. His running backs really hurt him in this one, and he still scored 90, which is pretty crazy, considering on his bench scored 78. He had 23 from Romo. Benson on the bench was 16. And Nate Washington had 23. I would never start Nate Washington. He's so unpredictable, but it's one of those big weeks where you never know what's going to happen. But Brock suffered his first loss. He's still in the playoffs. He's still a great team. He still scores a ton of points. And John now stands alone in the AFC. Moving on to another pretty big matchup was Titletown USA pulling out the big upset against the Regulators, Jobby. This one here, Jared scored 98 to Jobby's 74. Jobby only got double digits from 2 people, Antonio Gates and Tim Tebow. Fred Jackson, guys, is on the injured reserve. This is just news to me. I think it just broke right now. I would like to pull it up, but this is unbelievable, guys. This pretty much derails Jobby's season, maybe. You're looking at the number 4 running back in fantasy right now. Coming with a calf injury on the IR, that's going to be a big shot to Jobby. He's really going to have to scratch to try and get into the playoffs now. As you can tell, I'm shocked by this news. But anyway, back to the matchup real quick. For Jared, he got solid scoring from Jordy Nelson, who again has just been a stud. And Vincent Jackson had 22, Jordy Nelson with 24. LeGarrette Blount, anybody who saw that run, that was ridiculous. He had 16 points. But yeah, looking here, let's see Fred Jackson real quick, guys. I want to jump on this. This is breaking news. Headed for the IR on his lower calf. Looks like he's strained it. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. So that's crazy, guys. So Jabby's got a tough sledding to do here. He's now 5-6. He's tied for third in the NFC. You know, Jared moved to 4-7. He's still back, you know, but he's still fighting. It's fun to watch these guys as owners. They're, you know, making it competitive for everybody else, which is awesome. But Jabby, like I said, he's really got some tough sledding now. You know, with Vic hurting, Gore's hurting, Welker's hurting, Deshaun Jackson's hurting. I mean, his studs are falling apart at the worst possible time for him. And now with Fred Jackson on the IR, he's, you know, going to be forced to start Ryan Grant on a whim. Maybe a Mike Tolbert, or possibly even pull off a trade. So we'll see what Jabby's got going on. But in this matchup, like I said, he fell to third place in the NFC. You know, it's going to be tough sledding for him on the rest of the way. So nice win for Titletown, USA there. In another big matchup, you know, Ashley kind of is a must-win for her. Pulled out a big victory, 101-69 against Nico. Looking here, Adrian Peterson sprained his ankle in this one. Likely going to miss next week, so that's a big hit for Nico. Got Christian Ponder at 17, so nice little start for him. Mike Williams with 14, but that was all she wrote for Nico. Ashley, you know, looking at Cam Newton, the guy throws 4 picks, he still gets 24 fantasy points. Ray Rice was big with 26. Chris Ogunbanaya, some Nigerian, got Ashley 18 points, which was very big for her. So, you know, good win for her. She's now 5-6. She's tied for third in the NFC. That 3-way tie for third place in the NFC, guys. It's so tight in the NFC. It's unreal. Everybody's pretty much a game apart. So watching that division's been so fun to shake up. So she's now 5-6. Nico falls to 2-9. But a big win for Ashley. That was a must-needed win. If she'd have lost, the playoffs pretty much counted out for her. Into the matchup of the week, guys, which we had, you know, kind of claimed as the matchup of the week, was Autobot Revolution versus Team Badasses. You know, division rivals here. Mike improved to 7-4, while Aaron fell to 5-6, with Mike outscoring Aaron in this one 115-81. He's really gonna miss Jay Cutler. Mike will, but he's got Ben Roethlisberger. It's like the perfect storm. You know, he would have been fine either way. You know, looks like McFadden's gonna sit out another week, but Marshawn Lynch has been a crazy good replacement for him. Coming up with touchdowns pretty much like his last 8 games, I think it was. Rob Gronkowski, you know, another huge week. He had 21. Victor Cruz with 18. That's been probably one of the best pickups of the year, was Victor Cruz. Looking at Aaron, Vernon Davis got him 12. Brandon Lloyd got him 12, and Rodgers got him 23. Other than that, he got nothing from anybody. So Aaron falls to 5-6. Mike improves to 7-4. He's standing alone right now at first place in the NFC with 4 straight wins. I never thought I'd say it, but one of Mike's fantasy teams is actually really good. They're really hot right now. And, you know, the sky's the limit for Mike right now. He had Brandon Marshall put up a goose egg for him, and he still had 115. So his team's really good. They score a ton of points. You know, look for Mike to really solidify that number 1 spot in the NFC. I think he's going to hold that, and it looks like he's going to face either John or Eric in the playoffs. So Aaron, like I said, struggled. He's 5-6. He's now tied for that 3-way tie for third in the NFC. Like I said, guys, that division is going to be so fun to watch here in the next few weeks, which brings me to the preview for Week 12, guys. Big matchup here right away. I'm just going to jump into it. Is Polish Pounder, me versus Ashley. I'm the second place team. Got a lead by 1 game. Ashley 5-6. She's tied for the division for third place. With a win right here, guys, that's going to put a big knot in what's going on with the playoffs and everything. If I win here, I pretty much lock up a spot for the playoffs with the win, and Ashley pretty much drops out. So, big week. Both teams had huge matchups, with Cam Newton playing Indy. I got, you know, LaShawn McCoy playing New England, which New England gives up a ton of yards. Tom Brady's playing Philly's pass defense, which is terrible. I got Ryan Matthews against Denver. Roddy White versus Minnesota, who's their pass defense is bad. But, you know, looking, she's got Steve Smith against Indy, Larry Fitzgerald against St. Louis, Jermichael Finley in the Packers defense against Detroit, which Detroit's offense is pretty good, so that's a tough matchup for her. But, you know, Ray Rice at San Francisco is big. I think that could be one of the determining matchups. They have the #1 rush defense in the league, and if they can hold Ray Rice to maybe single digits or, you know, around the 12s, I think that could be a big factor in this game. Projected totals are 120 to 114. It's going to be a tight matchup. I think the winner of this matchup could be that #2 seed. You know, if Ashley wins, I think her team's good enough to win out and be the second place team for the NFC. And if I win this one, you know, I think my team's, you know, pending on matchups, good enough to be that second seed and contend for a playoff spot. I hope they are. So guys, I'm proclaiming this as the matchup of the week right now. There's also another one that could be a possibility. You know, there's also actually two more because there's some big matchups with huge playoff implications. I can't fucking say that. Anyway, real quick, moving on to another one that's not as important, but it's a must-win for Eric. Eric against Titletown USA. Eric's 5-6. Looking at the projections, very close. 106 for Titletown USA with Jared and Joe against 101 for Eric. Eric's 5-6. Like I said, it's pretty much a must-win. If he loses this one, he's probably done. John's got a tough matchup this week, so Eric's got a chance. But if he wins this, I mean, it's going to put some big leverage for him in that AFC standings, which I'll touch on in a little bit when I get to John's matchup. We got Megatron's Army versus King Keenum's Court, KKK, Nico. Looking at the check marks here, I don't know what Nico's doing, but Brock's projected at 126 to Nico's 64. He's sitting Drew Brees and pretty much everybody else that's important to him. I would hope that he puts his starters in there just as a favor to everybody else in the league who's trying for the playoff spots. You know, so adjust those, but pretty much easy win for Brock here. He's going to move to 11-1 and continue to run roughshod on the league. Nico will most likely, if he doesn't change his lineup and doesn't really give it a shot, most likely to fall to 2-10. Moving on to another really big matchup here, guys. Bolingbrook Blue Ballers against Team Badasses. Mike, first place in the NFC, 7-4. John, second in the AFC, all by himself at 6-5. If John can pull out this victory, he locks it up for the playoffs, pretty much, depending on next week. But you know, with a win here, it's so big, it puts so much pressure on Eric to get that win this week against Jarrett, which, you know, like I said, projections are very close. Same with this one, guys. This is one could be a barn burner. Mike's projected at 114. John's projected at 112. You know, guys, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a fun one to watch because it's a must-win. Not really for Mike, but for John. I think if John wins this one, he pretty much guarantees himself a spot in the playoffs. Whereas with Mike, you know, if he loses, he's still got 7 wins. He's still going to make the playoffs. Mike pretty much has locked that up. This could be also a preview, if, you know, depends on how it shakes out, as, you know, a possible first-round playoff matchup. So we might get a little taste of some playoff action here, guys. I know I'm getting kind of tight on time. Yeah, I got about a minute and a half. So real quick, let me touch on the last matchup, which is two 5-6 teams. You know, both teams, the loser of this team is out for the playoffs. I mean, forget about it. They'd be 5-7, not happening. Neither one would make the playoffs. You know, depending on some crazy win-loss situation for, you know, either me, the winner of this game, or, you know, Ashley, which is a huge matchup this week. But pretty much projected totals, which, looking at this, Aaron's got 2 studs with Rodgers and Forte at 21, and then nobody else is going to score shit. Projected total, I mean, Aaron's projected at 76. Jabby's at 94. This one's such a toss-up. I got to go with Jabby, even though Fred Jackson's on the IR, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron pulls out a big victory. So loser of this game, guys, not going to make the playoffs. I got 30 seconds, so I'm trying to be as fast as possible. I might post another little quick video, but that touches on everything. You know, good luck this week to all the teams. Playoffs are so tight, AFC and NFC, NFC especially. So good luck to all the teams. Have fun this week. Have a happy Turkey Day. Enjoy yourself. Tons of football on tomorrow. A lot of big matchups tomorrow as well. So you guys have fun. Good luck, and look forward to the last fun, intense weeks of fantasy football. All right, later, guys.